Hello and welcome to this slightly different haul. I went on holiday to New York City with Joanna from the channel Joanna Sosa, my very good friend, my best friend, and I picked up a few bits and I thought I would share them with you. And also, since I've been back, inspired by some of the things I bought in New York, I purchased some other items back in the UK, so I will show you those as well. It will make sense when we get there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in categories. So I bought some skincare, I bought some other stuff, and I bought some books. Shocking, I know. So I think we're going to start with the skincare, and then we'll move on to the other stuff, and then we'll do the books last. So we went to Koreatown, which is a very small section of Midtown in New York, and picked up a few little skincare items. Mine are all, well, with the exception of one, they're all from the brand The Beauty of Joseon. So I'm going to show you the one that isn't from that brand first, and then you'll know that everything I'm showing you is. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this Eco Soul lip oil, which is honey flavoured. I'm actually going to put on some of that now. It's really nice. It's really moisturising and nourishing without being sticky, because I cannot stand sticky things on my lips, and this is not at all. But it also isn't super thick or cloying in any way, so this one's a really nice one. It is quite healing on the lips, so that's lovely. And then the other items, as I say, are from The Beauty of Joseon. So the first thing I got here is this green plum cleanser, refreshing cleanser specifically, and this is one of those that comes out kind of like a gel and then it foams up really nicely, but it's not super clarifying. Like, you know how sometimes you use a foam cleanser and it just feels like your skin has been stripped of all moisture? This one doesn't do that at all, so I really like it. And then I actually had a small sample size of this anyway, but I actually ran out of my SPF while we were away, so I decided to pick up a full size of this while we were there. This was in a shop called Tote, by the way, and this is the Relief Sun Rice and Probiotics SPF 50 plus PA++++, which looks like that. I don't know if it's going to focus on the writing, so that's why I've read it out to you. It's a decent size. I think this is 50ml, so I'll probably go through it quite quickly, but that's okay because I kind of wanted to not get a massive one. I don't think they do a massive one anyway, but I actually really like it. I am not a fan of thick gloopy SPF just in general, but particularly on my face, and this is not at all. This is really nice and light without being too oily. I've used a couple of serum based SPFs recently, and what's happened is they've broken me out because there's too much oil. So my skin tends towards the dehydrated but otherwise normal, but I can easily tip it into unhappy by using the wrong products, and this one seems to be working okay for me so far. Whoops, just dropped the cleanser. Then I got the Revive Eye Serum with ginseng and retinol, which looks like so. This one has a pump, which I like. I wish the SPF did as well, but actually it doesn't leak out super easily, so I'm not too upset. This I got because I'm always looking for an eye cream that I actually like. I had an eye cream that I liked years ago, but it's not cruelty free, so I can't use it anymore, and so I'm constantly trying out new eye creams until I find something I like. This I really like the texture of. It feels really lovely. Again, it feels thick and creamy without leaving like a heaviness under the eyes. Now, I don't know that I'm necessarily seeing any difference to my under eye area using this, but I like the way it feels, and for me that's a win. And then the last skincare item is this, which is the Glow Deep Serum Rice and alpha arbutin, and you can see it's fairly runny serum, but it's in oil format, and this is seriously lovely. I have been using these products for a couple of weeks now, and my skin does feel really nice. Now, I am blessed with fairly well-behaved skin anyway, but Joanna bought a lot of these same products and she has told me that her skin is also feeling very soft, so I can recommend them. You can get them on Yes Style, I think is the name of the website. I've seen them also on Amazon. I prefer to buy from Yes Style, but if you need them like urgently, then you can get them from Amazon, and I think you can get some of these products from Sephora as well, but I think probably Yes Style is your best bet in terms of having everything and having the best prices. So that is it for the skincare items. Then we're going to move on to the other items, and I'm calling them other items, but really what they are is Strand bookstore merch because we did go in to the Strand, of course, and I didn't actually realise that they had merch, and then they did, and I fell in love with it all, and I wanted to buy like everything, and I bought a few things, so we're gonna go through those now. So the first thing was this t-shirt, which looks like so. They did also have a kind of aubergine colour, which I absolutely loved, but they didn't have a size that was big enough. I really like t-shirts to be oversized, so I went with the grey, which is pretty kind of universal, nice and versatile, and this is so soft and it's not super thick. I get really overheated. It's partially a medication thing, and so I do like to have t-shirts that are really lightweight when I'm having a day where I'm feeling really warm and I want to wear a t-shirt. I don't want to wear one of my thick t-shirts that's going to make me even more warm. This is perfect. It's lovely and thin without being, you know, flimsy, and it's lovely and soft. I actually ended up wearing this the day after I bought it because I was just so excited. And that same day I also bought this. Now I'm going to call it a tote, but really, to be honest, this is a handbag. So looks like that. Trying to get it in frame for you there. Let me get a bit closer so you can see that it has cats on it. Joanna actually also got the same one. I think she also did get a t-shirt. I think she got the aubergine t-shirt actually, because they had it in a size that she was happy with. So this is the front. The back is a little bit different. This is the side I kind of had on show when I was walking around New York, because I was like, I don't want to look too touristy, you know? And this is, you can't really tell that it's a Strand, but now that I'm back in the UK, I am definitely going to be touting the Strand logo quite happily. And then there's actually an inside pocket as well, if you can see that, there you go, which is quite large in size. So I actually love this. I ended up using this a couple of days while we were there as well, and it's super comfy to carry around. It's massive, you can fit loads in this, so absolutely love that. I am to my core a handbag girl. I'm not a shoes girl, I'm a handbag girl, and I kind of, even though it's a tote, it feels like a handbag to me, you know? And then we actually ended up going back the next day because Joanna wanted to get a t-shirt which she hadn't got the first day, and I wanted to get something that Joanna got the first day, which was a jumper. So I got the iconic Strand red. You can hopefully see the logo there, and this, again, it's not super thick, so I'm a little bit tentative about jumpers because, again, I run really hot these days, but this one is a nice thin one. I feel like I needed something in this kind of category because I have a lot of jumpers that are quite thick and I have jumpers that are in the middle, and now I have one that's kind of quite thin, and it's, again, super soft and lovely inside. So I have been trying not to buy fast fashion recently, but occasionally when it's an intentional piece, I'm okay with it. And these two pieces of clothing, I'm just, I'm so happy with them. Honestly, I feel like I could have bought so much stuff in there, just not even books, just from their stuff. And I think the next thing I'm going to show you is kind of like a nice little segue from stuff to books, because I did get a little notepad which matches actually the bag I bought. I think that this is just, yeah, this is just standard lined. It lays open quite nicely, and I am going to use this after filming this video. I am going to put it in my work bag, and this is going to be my random note taking for work notebook, because so many times in my life I have bought or been gifted a notebook that just sits there on my shelf looking pretty and never being used because it's pretty and I don't want to use it. It's ridiculous. So this one, I'm going to put it over there next to my work bag, and this one is going to be used for work from now on. Then the very first book that I bought in Barnes & Noble because I wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to collect an American edition of a Sanderson book from Barnes & Noble. I don't know what to tell you, I just did. So I got the mass market paperback of Elant, which I think is, well, I like this one better than Warbreaker, and I don't know if I like it better than the original artwork for Mistborn, but I feel like if I was going to buy Mistborn I had to buy the whole trilogy, so it made more sense to buy a standalone. And I actually already have the, oh, let me show you, the American cover artwork for the Stormlight Archive series, because I love these super floppy paperbacks. So I wasn't going to get one of those, and so I decided to go for Elantris. And I do really like, there's something just so charming about the cover art on these kind of books. I think Orson Scott Card was an odd blurb choice, but hey, you never, it is what it is. So I picked up a copy of Elantris, which is not given enough love in the Cosmere, in my humble opinion. And then we're moving on to the books that I got in the Strand. So actually, they're all secondhand, because the thing is we are spoiled in the UK. Our books are much cheaper, like much cheaper than new books in the US are. I mean, this mass market paperback wasn't too bad because it's a mass market paperback. It was only $10, but they're like $16 for a standard paperback or $30 for a hardback, which is like double the price of books here. So I was mostly looking for secondhand books anyway, and I managed to get some really great just deals. So firstly was this copy of Alter by Mercedes Lackey. This is book 2 in the, I think it's called Dragon Jousters. Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere. I think it's called the Dragon Jousters series, and this is an out of print now, of course, because it's hardback edition, and it was $8.50, which I just couldn't say no, and it's in really good condition as well. So I picked that one up since I just couldn't resist. And then I found the entire Winterlands series by Barbara Hambly, which is one that I had actually tagged the audiobooks or saved the audiobooks on Scribd, or what is it called now? Everand. Quite a while ago, and wanted to pick them up, and then I just kind of stumbled across them in the stacks and stacks of books at the Strand, and I was just like, do you know what, they're good condition, they're not expensive, I'm getting them. So we have Winterlands, which is actually a bind up of books 1 and 2, which are Dragon's Bane and Dragon's Shadow, and isn't this cover just absolutely fantastic? Just amazing. And this was $8.50 as well. And then books 3 and 4 are kind of in their own thing. I think that this is 3, which is Night of the Demon Queen. Yeah, the dazzling sequel to Dragon's Bane and Dragon's Shadow. So it's a slightly different cover vibe, but actually I think it's just like that. And this was also £8.50. And then this last one was also £8.50 as well. And this is Dragon's Star, which is the final book. And I just love the dragon artwork on the front of this one. And it's blurbed by Anne McCaffrey, which that's pretty good. The inside kind of flap of this one is a little bit damaged, but for £8.50 I am not going to complain. Oh, and there's the author, Barbara Hamley. There you go, in case you wanted to know what she looks like. That is her. And have I read any of her before? No, but it's a series about dragons. You know, do I need to say more? No, not really. And there's a bit of a theme actually, isn't there? Because this series is also about dragons, and this leads me into why I have other stuff not from New York to show you, because I got that one and that's book 2. I was like, it doesn't really make sense to have book 2 in a series. I managed to find for a decent price online at World of Books the rest of that particular series in hardback as well. So I think, pretty sure book 1 is Joust, and again this is pretty good condition, I want to say. When was this published, in fact? Let me see if I can find that out for you. And this is published by Door Books, so it is still the American edition, which is why I struggled to find this particular set of editions. This was 2003, so it's 20 years old, this particular copy, which makes me feel really old. So we have Joust, and then Altar, which I've already shown you, is book 2. Book 3 is Sanctuary, which looks like so. Very cute, very, very cute. And then book 4 is, and this is the last book, and it does say indeed The Dragon Jousters, so that is the name of the series, and it's Airy, and it looks like so. So we have a couple of dragon series. As you've probably noticed, these are quite short. That's something I quite like about Mercedes Lackey, is she doesn't feel the need to write super long books, which I'm all for. I mean, The Way of Kings is my favourite book. You're not going to get complaints out of me for a 1,000 page fantasy book, but occasionally it's nice to have a fantasy book that's like 300 pages. I'm probably making a mistake here looking at the page count of the very last book, but nevertheless, 291 pages for the last book in a fantasy quartet. I mean, you know. And then since I was on World of Books buying Mercedes Lackey books anyway, I thought it would be rude not to buy the next books that I want to read in Valdemar, although I'm not going to be reading these particular ones next because this is book 2 and this is book 3. I'm just waiting for book 1 to arrive, but this is the Mage Winds trilogy. So book 2 is Winds of Change, book 3 Winds of Fury. Winds of Fate, as I said, is on the way. And I also wanted to get Mage Storm's series trilogy, so I managed to get book 1, Storm Warning, and then once again I ended up with incorrect editions for book 2 and 3. I think it's that way around, Storm Breaking and Storm Rising. Pretty sure it's that way around, but clearly these are vastly different editions. This one, so this is the Door Books edition. This is from Orion Publishing, and this is from Millennium, who I've never even heard of before, actually. So these two are going back, and I will try again to get the correct editions for the rest of that trilogy. And that, my dears, is everything that I wanted to show you today. So this is actually quite a long video, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a mishmash of various different things. I am now going to get ready to go out for dinner with Lee, and that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like this from me, then do think about hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks. Bye.